Okay, you want to talk about GM's earnings? What an absolute disaster. They came out yesterday with their earnings down. Stock is down 6%. And guess whose fault it is? Tariffs. Wow. If that's not the biggest BS story in the history of companies, I don't really know what is. Here's the truth about General Motors. General Motors is a failing company. They are well on their way to their demise. And this has nothing to do with tariffs. It's a great scapegoat, but it has nothing to do with tariffs. I want to take you back to that fateful day that Biden decided he was going to invite everybody into the White House. And listen, let's get something straight here. I'm not a fan of Trump. I wasn't a fan of Biden. I'm not a fan of either one of them. In fact, I am sick and tired of our one-party system. There is no two-party system in the United States. It's a one-party system. And as soon as you wake up and figure that out, you'll be much better off for it. All you can do as an investor and as a citizen and as a human being is try to figure out who's going to be next in line to play the stupid, silly game that has been going on in Washington for the last 100 years, and then figure out how you can place yourself in there where you can survive. But don't give me this Democrat-Republican thing. They don't exist. It's a one-party system. Now, let's get into the story. Back when Biden was president, he had this summit at the White House where he wanted to bring all the leading EV manufacturers in for a big giant powwow. Ended up being a kiss-ass session to the unions. Guess who wasn't invited? Yep, that guy. Elon Musk wasn't even invited. He was completely dissed. The reason he was dissed is because he is kicking the ever-loving crap out of all these companies, including the unions. And if you're a union fan, that's fine. I think unions are great. The only problem with unions is unions destroy unions. They have destroyed themselves from the inside out. So they had the powwow in the White House. Musk was noticeably absent. And what did Biden do? He got up in front of the entire audience. He pointed across the room to Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, and he said, "You led, Mary, you led." And the reason he said that is because General Motors, a bunch of years ago, built an electric vehicle, showed it to the public, and then killed it. They killed it because they couldn't make money on it. And then they said, no, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We'll keep the unions happy. People are stupid. If we just call it the heartbeat of America and we wrap a big giant American flag around it and we have big sales on President's Day, people are dumb. They'll buy these for the rest of their lives. There was only one problem. People are not dumb. People know that there's a better option. So yeah, you led, Mary. You led. The White House helped you lead. The unions helped you lead. And now you're going down in flames. What a great excuse to blame all of this on tariffs. The second part of this story that you cannot ignore is the deal made with the devil, being the unions, when, remember that guy, Fain, the big famous tough guy, union boss, who negotiated that deal a few years ago? And GM and all the other car companies finally just put their hands up and said, you know what? We'll pay you whatever you want. You want $150 an hour for your people? No problem. No problem. We won't automate it. We won't do anything. We'll protect all your jobs. Here you go. Where do we sign? They did that knowing 100% that their demise was imminent. You see, you can promise somebody anything. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay them. Do you understand that? Do you understand that they knew they were going down in flames, but they signed the deal anyway? And the guy that made them sign the deal is now under attack from his own union, because the unions are going down in flames with GM, and now they need to blame somebody. So they'll blame two people. They'll blame the tariffs, and they'll blame General Motors and China and whoever else they can come up with on that day. General Motors has been going out of business since Tesla started selling the Model 3. The media are not telling you this because, you see, the media are in bed with those big corporations and the fossil fuel industry. Where the hell do you think they get all their funding? Where the hell do you think all the advertising comes from? Of course, Tesla is the enemy. And not just Tesla. You know, it's easy to blame Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk is making these electric cars and they suck. Well, I don't know. A lot of people are buying them. But you also have Lucid, who built a really nice car. Ford are doing a pretty good job with the Lightning and the Mustang E. Those are good cars. Ford may survive. And you know who said that? 15 years ago. Elon Musk. He said the only company in America, an American company, who has a hope of survival is Ford, because they are actually trying to move forward. Now, they screwed up. Farley screwed up recently by saying that he was going to contact Waymo so he could utilize their technology to create an autonomous vehicle. That's not going to work, Farley. Sorry, buddy. You might be out to lunch on that one. So Tesla now are leading. Tesla is an American company. 80% of every Tesla is made in America. And even if you want to talk about the tariffs, Tesla are not affected by the tariffs. Tesla are affected by the EV tax credit, but it doesn't matter. Their margins are so strong, they already are offering deals that will bring the price down so that very soon that $7,500 tax credit will be completely forgotten. And just so you know, the so-called savior of GM, the EV Equinox, wouldn't even qualify for the tax rebate anyway, even if it remained in existence. It's not an American car. It's made in Mexico. It does not qualify for anything. And yes, it does come under tariff scrutiny. And it also does not qualify for the tax interest deduction that you will get if you purchase an American vehicle on payments. You will be able to deduct the tax on the interest. You'll be able to deduct the interest, on your taxes. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when all these big giant American corporations start failing? Are you going to continue to listen to the media? Now listen, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but I've been doing videos for a long time because I've followed some of the smartest minds in the world who have been studying this. People like Stephen Mark Ryan have been saying for years, he has cataloged the demise of the legacy automobile company. Every one of them. Stellantis is already bankrupt. Nissan, by the way, not an American company, Nissan is technically out of business. They're getting ready to close their original plant, the granddaddy plant. That's the equivalent of Boeing shutting down their Washington manufacturing facility. When you start shutting down plants like that, you are out of business. You just might as well lock the doors and walk away. This is happening. The media are not telling you about it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to buy your GM stock because you get a dividend? A dividend is useless if a company is not making money. The dividend will be the first thing to go away, by the way. These companies are failing. And they can't be saved. For two reasons. Well, for many reasons. But two main reasons. They can't make an affordable electric vehicle that's dependable, that has the best technology on the planet. They can't make a vehicle that has autonomous technology for full self-driving, unsupervised. They can't make a vehicle that you will be able to put out on the road and make money for you while you are sleeping. And on top of that, as other companies like Tesla continue to make those vehicles and continue to plant robo-taxis and Waymo planting Waymos and Zoox planting their vehicles in these large cities, eventually car ownership is going to drop. The car market is already getting crushed. And yeah, is it partly because they're expensive? Of course it is. Is it partly because the loans are high interest rate? Of course it is. But an awful lot of it has to do with the fact that car ownership is going away. You know who's leading? You know who's going to win at the end of the day with all of that? Tesla. They're the only ones in North America who have the capability to very soon flip a switch and every single one of their cars on the road, including this Model 3 that I've been driving since 2022 and has been mapping every single place I drive. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of miles by every single Tesla vehicle in the world, not just the United States, but we're just talking about the United States. Thousands, millions of these vehicles driving around every day, mapping the entire system of highways, byways, and side roads in America. And then one day Tesla flips a switch and all of these cars become driverless. I love my car. I look forward to the day when there's two reasons for me to own a car, and only two. Number one is it will make money for me while I'm sleeping. And number two, that it's affordable, cheap, with no maintenance to speak of, except for windshield washer fluid. A very low insurance rate, which will be provided by Tesla Insurance. They already are offering insurance in 13 states. And the states that are not allowing them to carry that insurance, they're already suing those states so that they will have the right to provide auto insurance, their own auto insurance. Buy a Tesla, insured by Tesla. This is the future. Now, again, not financial advice. Tesla earnings come out today. We know they're going to be bad. I mean, I'll be shocked if they're good. That the Tesla stock today is going to take a hit. And personally, I'm not telling you what to do. In fact, don't do what I do. Get a financial advisor. Do your own research. When the stock drops, just like I always have in the past, I will be buying more Tesla. Because I know the future. I know what's going on. There's absolutely no way General Motors can survive long term. There is no way. They don't even have a roadmap in place that could even remotely make that possible. They're not getting a bailout this time. They had the opportunity to catch up with Tesla. They had the opportunity to build batteries. With Cruise, they had the opportunity to create full self-driving. They had all those opportunities. They had the opportunities to automate their factories, but the unions kept a stranglehold on them. And by the way, that political party, the Democrats, they kept a stranglehold on them too, because we can't have people losing jobs. We are the party of unions. So let me just tell you right now, it's not going to end well for GM. Pick a company to invest in. I can guarantee you its ticker symbol is probably going to be TSLA. Thanks for watching.